This is how I prep for the Boston Marathon. As some of you guys may know, I've been running a lot. As some of you may not know, I've been getting into feet a lot, and you can see how I got these kind of tendons on the feet. And I didn't have as much control over the toes as I do now. Be able to have the big toe down, be able to have the other toes go down and the big toe stay up. And I got a lot of that access through utilizing toe spacers from a company called Neboso. I also been doing a lot of myofascial release, which is basically just rolling your foot on kind of any and everything you can think of. You can use a baseball, a lacrosse ball. Usually with fascia, you want to go slow and explore your foot. You see how like wide my foot is on the outside there? I actually get quite a bit of pain there. I think that's almost like an extra muscle from all the years of squatting and pancaking my feet to the floor. I think I have massive forms of ADHD, and rather than complain or cry about it, I just lean into it. I'm gonna put these Happy Feet socks on, and I'm gonna be working on my feet while I'm doing upper body work today. I've changed my lifestyle with my shoes. I do not wear the big commercially recognized shoes, with the exception of when I'm running longer distances. I still do wear Nikes. They make the Nike Alpha Fly, which I feel is a really well-made shoe for helping me to propel forward and to help mitigate stress in the lower legs, because it's got a carbon foot plate to it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 little piggies over here. I went to sushi one time in Los Angeles and I got drunk. I had too much sake. And I went to go to the bathroom and I used the stall, and next to me was a urinal, and I look over and I see that a guy has sandals on. I see his feet, and I don't know why I did this out loud. I was trying to think in my head. I look at the guy's feet. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I do it again, and I do it like a little louder, and the guy goes, "Yeah, I have 6 toes." He's like, "Want to make something of it?" And I come out of the stall and he's just like laughing. He goes, "Yeah, I can't wear regular shoes. I have to wear sandals all the time." He had 6 toes. I felt like such an idiot. I didn't even realize I was counting out loud like that. We're gonna start out with a little bit of like kind of a winning warm up. Today I'm doing some bench pressing, but it's a little bit of a lighter day on the bench press. I'm gonna get into some dumbbell presses and some bicep work. I kind of like to hammer some accessory work before I get into the main movement. Great way to warm up, and it's a great way just to make sure that work gets done, because let's be honest, a lot of times you want to just leave, right? Grab the 25s, and just to change things up a bit, I'm just going to get in like a little bit of like a lunge stance, and I'm going to do my curls from here. Maybe just squat down a little bit, get a little pressure on the legs. Why not? Want to increase the metabolism a little bit, get a little extra calorie burn while we're doing some curls. Can lower even more. Getting a little work in the knees, quads. Switch sides. Same deal. Tend to lose a lot of weight when I go and run. When I say a lot of weight, it can be about 10 pounds. So it's a pretty significant amount of weight. I need to work on mitigating that. So I have one of those little jetpack looking things that holds liquid that you can drink out of, Camel Pack. The other day when I ran 16 miles, woke up, weighed 227. Left the house, weighed 229, because I have a small snack shake type thing. It's my steak shake product, mixed with cold brew coffee, my electrolytes from Within You brand as well. I drink that, helps me take a shit. I do that and I leave, so I left the house weighing 229. I had about 40 ounces of liquid with me, and maybe even drank a little bit more. I might have had 50 ounces of water total, or 50 ounces of liquid. There's salt, electrolytes, there's all kinds of stuff in this mix, carbohydrates. Probably had 400 to 500 calories on the run from jelly beans and all this other weird running shit. Got home and weighed 217. So 227 in the morning, 229 before I left the house, 217 when I came back, even with trying to hydrate. The whole BCAA thing, amino acids during training and all that is really just to help hydrate you. And that's probably where you get the most benefit from it. Not that it's not effective for muscle protein synthesis and to help against being like catabolic, but I think the real merit is just to keep you hydrated. Got the 70s here. This is how I prep for the Boston Marathon. And then wear some protection out there, kids. Protect yourself before you wreck yourself. How'd you do all that lifting for all those years? And then how are you running every day? I'm on day like 140 days in a row of running. I'm able to pivot from a powerlifting career that lasted about 30 years, ending with a 1,080 squat, 854 bench, 766 deadlift. Transitioned into bodybuilding, transitioned into running, and a lot of it has to do with protecting myself during training, wearing wrist wraps and belts. You can go back and just look at the footage. My YouTube channel is like, I don't know, 13 years old or something. You can find stuff where I got knee sleeves on, knee wraps, powerlifting equipment, squat briefs or squat suit, bench shirts, all that stuff. And now today I still wear a lot of those things. I still wear my briefs when I squat in here. We make briefs with my Slingshot brand. We make knee sleeves. We make elbow sleeves. These are strong elbow sleeves, just a funky checker pattern color, but we make all different kinds of colors. We make all different kinds of thicknesses. This is our #1 seller though, the strong elbow and knee sleeves. We also make an X sleeve, which has a stiffer outside, has a denim. But all this stuff is to lower the barrier of entry into fitness and to keep it a little easier for everybody. You know, everyone's like, oh, here's a good way to make your dips harder. It's like, fuck, man, I don't need anything to be any harder than it already is. You know, sometimes you hear a lot of people just having trouble getting to the gym. So fuck all that. We don't really need things to be harder. We need things to be more inviting. We need things to be a little easier. And I do understand, you know, getting a little gritty with it here and there and kind of grinding it out and going through things that are challenging and hard. And that does make sense. But I don't think it's very inviting to have a lot of injuries and to be banged up everywhere. Just added a lot of diversity to this exercise because a lot of this is just in what's called like a sagittal plane. And we want to try to get into multiple planes when we're working on movement. So by just splitting my stance here like this, and by curling to the left and curling to the right, I'm introducing some rotation patterns, some patterns this way as well. We get that head over foot action when we're running. Challenge is the balance. See, I'm going all over the place here. I'm not saying that you have to lift that way all the time, but it's good to mix things up a bit. Gonna wrap these up a little tighter for this set. I like wearing a lifting belt. I've mentioned this many times. When it comes to bench pressing and picking up dumbbells and stuff like that, you just get into some weird positions sometimes, putting the weight back in the rack and stuff. So why risk it? I don't want to get hurt doing this stuff. I love this stuff, but I don't love it that much. I'm gonna handle the 90s. Don't be scared of those kind of in-between weights. You know, no one wants to handle the 90s. They want to do the 100. This is something I learned from Flex Wheeler and Stan Efforting. So I'm just going to do a really good set with this curl bar, and I'm going to go right back into the dumbbells again. Yeah, look at all this as this is like a diagnostic. If I go to press this and there's like a lot of pain or something, I'm not going to do the movement for the day. I'm going to try to figure out, hey, what went wrong previous training? Like, how did I get to this spot where I got this pain with such a light weight? Last set, we got a good set in with the 90, and we're going to get a nice set in here with the hundos. I'm going to get from this set as much as I can. I'm going to try to keep tension on the muscles the whole time. And another part of this is when I'm done with the set, I'm going to flex a little bit. So I'm going to try to keep that tension on and get some pauses and keep constant motion going. Total concentration. flex for about a minute or so. Okay, gonna move into doing this curl and then hitting that bench. Try 10 to 12 reps. And once there is a deviation from set amount of reps, then I'll throw a slingshot on and that'll be it for the workout for today. If you have any lower back aches, you can actually just push your knees into a bench. Get the knees kind of soft. You might notice some reprieve in that low back while you're curling. We gotta get another set of 12 here. Common questions I get asked about my height, how much I weigh, how old I am. How old am I? I'm 43. How tall am I? I'm 6'1". How much do I weigh? I didn't weigh myself today, but probably about 240, 242, something like that.
What about body fat percentage?
My body fat percentage right now, probably like 5 or 6%, something like that. One more, eh? You'd be surprised, a little bit of testosterone, a little bit of just testosterone goes a really long way. I'm only on TRT. Just like Coach Greg, 125 milligrams of test a week. Or maybe that's per day. It's really nothing quite like the breathing that happens when you lift sometimes. I've been running and doing nasal breathing and all that stuff, but still kind of hard sometimes with certain lifts. Try some sets mixed grip. Do 6 and 6, and then maybe 6 here. I'll throw on a slinger and see if we can throw on the money shot. Do have a guest here today, so I do have to get out of this workout, but the overarching thing is I'm training for the motherfucking Boston Marathon. I don't give a fuck who's here. I'm getting my shit in. I don't care if we had Donald Trump and The Rock here on the same day. I can get my workout in. Slingshot, supportive upper body device, bench press, push-ups, dips, makes the weight lighter at the bottom, heavier at the top, allows you to handle more weight for more reps, more sets, more overall volume. That was an amazing workout. If I am oversharing my running and oversharing some of my experiences with you guys, it's just because I'm overly delighted, excited, happy, fired up, enthusiastic every single day about what it is I'm doing. There is no push for me to do these things. It's all pull. I'm drawn. This is what I'm interested in. I love fitness. I love a good challenge. I love physical challenges. I don't hate myself. I love myself. I love giving myself these inputs. And even when the inputs are challenging, I love the results that I get from it. Things can be different for everybody, so I'm willing to understand that, and I'm willing to understand other people's point of view. But I believe that we need to stop adopting other people's point of view just because it's a point of view. We need to stop saying that Mondays are harder than every other day of the week. We need to stop saying that I can't function without my coffee. We need to stop repeating these memes and these things that are culturally acceptable that aren't actually true. You're not actually dumb. You're not actually stupid. You're not actually undedicated. You're not actually part of a percentage of the population that just can't figure your shit out. You can figure it out. You will figure it out. You're working on it. You're working towards it. You're working for it. That's why I've said lift through it, run through it, walk through it. Find a hobby. Find something you can do, but not just a hobby. Find something that makes you feel better about yourself. Find something that helps make you feel accomplished. The most important person that you'll ever run into in this lifetime, and the most important person that you can gain respect from, is yourself. So you listen to my podcast, you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, Jordan Peterson, Lex Friedman, the list goes on and on and on. Those people aren't too much different from you. You have all the same things within you that I do. You got all the same things within you that Einstein had. Your brain is not that much different from Elon Musk's brain. Elon Musk does not have extra parts of his body. He does not have an extra location in his brain. He doesn't have extra memory. I mean, maybe he's got a chip or something, I don't know. But Usain Bolt can run really fast. So does he have anything extra on you? He's tall, he's 6'5", but there's other people who are 6'5". There's other people that are shorter that have beaten Usain Bolt before. We all have a lot of talent within us. Our anxiety, our stresses, our fears are all within us. They're not from our external influences. It's not from the outside world where we find unhappiness. We find unhappiness right between the ears. Everything you need is already within you. Strength is never a weakness. Weakness is never a strength. I gotta go do a podcast. Catch you guys later. So just finished up a podcast, had to kind of hop into something and cut the workout this morning, but I don't mind taking my time and coming back in here and finishing things out right. So I got about 4 or 5 exercises I'm going to do. I just went on a walk. A walk is kind of my cup of coffee or pre-workout. At this time of day, like 2, 3 p.m., I don't like to take any sort of stimulant. So just going on a walk I found can be something that kind of springs me back into action. Watching Ben Pekulski the other day talking about how you do your lat work. He had this huge bodybuilder that was doing the exercise, and you could really see how profound the lats are activated when you're actually pushing downward. Like shove your elbows towards the ground and shove your shoulders downward. A lot of times we're rowing and we're kind of like up here and we're doing this. This is not bad necessarily, but it hits more upper back and doesn't really get to the lats as much. So I'm gonna mess with some of these for today. Almost like a pullover. If you get it right, you really only have to pull to about here to have full activation of the lats. One of the main things of this part of the workout is just to not have tons of rest. Try to go from one thing to the next. Portion of the workout is really just about getting a lot of blood flow and get a pump. You can actually move right into this guy. So we're trying to do muscle groups that don't have too much to do with each other. It's not just hammering the same muscle. I'm not going from bicep machine to bicep machine to bicep machine, right? Try this out. I got it locked in, right? Flexing the biceps hard. If you stand up and get over top of it, see how it made the angle go down? I was trying to still hold it in the same position, but it just naturally went. Something you can give it a try. It puts you at like a disadvantage when you bring the body up. For right now, my sport is running. While I'm in here lifting, I can think about my sport and I can think about running while I'm doing this stuff. And I can try to think about what are the things I'm trying to do when I'm running. I do need to be mindful of my a big part of running is the practice of trying to calm yourself down. It should be a practice in lifting as well, but we just don't see it as much. And so it's something I gotta kind of constantly remind myself of. Coming from that powerlifting background and just loving doing what I was doing, lifting heavy weights, using bands and chains and doing the West Side stuff and cranking up the music and getting all fired up. I really love that. But there also should be a calmness to some of this, and it should be a practice. When you put it as a practice, you're able to control a lot of variables that allow you to end up with similar results each time rather than these staggered results because you had a certain song on or because you got fired up in a particular way. If we calm ourselves, it's a little more mathematic, a little more scientific, and it's just a matter of the stimulus that we're putting on the body. And if we teach the body that this stimulus is good for us and that we can remain calm while doing things that are kind of difficult, I think it's a nice metaphor for life as well. Here, I want muscle tension and a pump. These are bodybuilding reps right here. No locking out, not going all the way down. If you never tried a tricep push down like this before, first of all, if you don't have these shake straps, you're missing out. These are amazing. You can get them over at marksmellybell.com. So you got that little slingshot material in there. If you never tried a tricep push down this way, you actually can bring this down to like whatever your height is, and we can take a step back from here, and now we can just do a tricep push down in a way that maybe we haven't really experienced before, because most of the time we're always doing them this way, right? So now you can try to do them out here more. It's just different. It's not saying that the way you were previously doing them is wrong, but this is like Murder City for the triceps because it's kind of like a push down and a kickback at the same time. Tomorrow morning at about 6 o'clock, I wake up, start this all over again. It doesn't happen by coincidence. It doesn't happen without being precise. It doesn't happen without giving a shit about this stuff a lot. My drive home, I'm gonna think about what it is I wanna complete for the rest of the day. I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna eat. I know I got steak planned for tonight, steak, potatoes. After I eat that, raspberries and strawberries, blueberries and yogurt with my name on it. Probably plop down in front of the TV like normal folk. Probably as soon as I get home, I'll take a shower. I like to get myself pointed in the right direction. I lay my clothes out for the next day. But again, none of that's hard. Those are all just small little hurdles along the way that are showing me, hey, how bad do you want this? I like those obstacles because they teach me, are you 60% in? Are you just saying you're doing the Boston Marathon and then kind of whatever and then it just trails off? Or are you actually turning into a runner? Are you a runner? And what I'm noticing now is that I'm a runner. And you're gonna see me running for years and years and years because I love all this shit. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. I'm getting old, I'm getting fat. Catch you guys later.